Hello, everybody.
Hey.
What's up, Chris?
Welcome to class. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 8. Supposed to have 10 in here. Who are we missing? I'll give him a few more minutes.
Where's Zach?
Yeah, Zach's missing.
And Michaela. No, there she is.
Yeah, Michaela's here. Okay, how was the week? There's Zach. Roderick is supposed to be here today, but he don't know where he is. Okay. So I've been busily working all day. It looks like most of us are having problems with getting on the shared folder. Yes.
I finally got in. So
You finally, who said they finally got in?
Linda, I had to cycle through all my email addresses to get to the one that would work with it.
Yeah, you have to be signed in through your NSCC email. So Jeff, I manually added you to the shared folder. Can you get in there now?
I'll try again. Hold on a second.
Yeah, let's just take part of this class and make sure that we can get in. It's like herding cats. Yeah, let me see. So Linda said she was able to get in. I'm going to check the folder right now. I want to see if there hasn't been. Okay, that's weekly examples. Okay, I don't see anything in there. Then did you upload anything?
I did in the thumbnails.
I'm sorry?
The assignment one. Assignment one, I put my thumbnails in there. There's a folder called thumbnails.
I see them. Good work.
Well, maybe extra points for that, but once you look at them.
Yeah, we're going to go through all that today. And then I also have a folder called examples. So what I'd like to do is take this first part of class, make sure everybody can get on there. First of all, first things first, has everybody signed up for Slack?
I have.
Yes.
Who has not signed up for Slack? Okay, do that now, please.
Okay. I just got access to my NSCC email. I had like a weird phone number email security thing. But I also can't get into SharePoint. It says that it doesn't work because my email is not added to the directory or something.
Okay, so this is what we need to do. I need everybody to get on Slack real quick. I sent you an email. Hang on. Let me see. Where is this? Slack is going to be our main where we can work a lot of this stuff out. So I put an invite. So when I send news updates, I've got a Slack channel invite here. I'm going to put it in this Zoom chat. Follow the link I just put in this Zoom chat, click on it and sign up and get in our Slack channel. Right now I'm showing, I have Ariana, I've got Grisette, I've got Jeff, I've got Linda, I've got Marianne, Michaela, Zach's in there, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 7 of you. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, sorry, I couldn't figure out how to get back here. So,
Well, we're going to go over some rudimentary stuff. I just want to make sure, we need to make sure that we're all on the same page.
okay.
Cool. I got somebody else. Okay, Roderick Taylor is on here. Where's Roderick? Mm, Okay, Lauren signed up. Awesome. Okay, I'm starting a new channel. Your email, NSCC email here below. Jeff already got yours, but I just created a new channel called Class Email List in Slack under channels. I need everybody to paste in their NSCC email address, please. That way I can add you to the shared folder.
Hey, Chris, in the Zoom chat, that's what, when I go to sign in using my regular NSCC email, that's the email address it's trying to use. Why it's got the extra hashtag my NSCC crap in there.
Where did you, okay, first of all, let's test this. So I'm going to add this whole address to the shared folder and see what happens.
Okay.
And Linda actually was the only person so far that's been able to get on. So we're going to have to probably pick Linda's brain here in a minute if we have no success.
I don't think I can help. I only knew to try different addresses because I'm also a staff member. So I have staff email, and that always causes me problems logging in places. So I just kept logging out of stuff until, you know, I could log back in as an alias. So that's when it's finally started to work.
Okay, I just added you, Jeff, with that thing that you just posted in chat.
Okay, I'll try it out.
Sorry we're having to deal with all this, but it's pretty annoying. Trust me. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5. Great, I got everybody's email.
Were you actually able to get mine? Because I'm having issues. It seems like they made me change my password, and then when I change the password, it shows that I got in, and then it says that I'm not. So I don't know what's happening.
Well, I can check real quick. What did you post?
It's lmanley2 at my.nscc.edu.
Wait, were you talking about the share folder?
Oh, are you talking about in Slack?
No, I'm talking about, we're trying to get everybody in the shared folder right now.
Yeah. Okay, and I don't know where that is, actually. Is that the from the assignment? I don't know where to go.
All right. So, okay, everybody see my screen? Hang on, I'm going to share my screen. Share my screen. Okay, so can everybody get to this page?
Yes.
Yes.
If you can't, let me know. If I don't hear any no's, I'm assuming everybody can get to this page. This is where I've been posting a lot of stuff. Like this is all that. This is the shared folder, OneDrive share folder. This is what I just posted on August 31st, Monday, to where you can start posting your assignments. Is this new information for people, or is this something that everybody's well aware of?
I'm aware of it.
I'm aware of that.
Cool. All right, so this is what we're having trouble with. Apparently people can't access this. Linda was able to, but here I've got some, I put links to these shared folders that should be, if you have an NSCC email address, you should be able to open them and access.
And I can't.
So what we're doing now is I'm going to, that's why everybody put their stuff in. I'm going to start, who just said that? Lisa, was that you?
Oh yes, I said that, and also I wasn't able to get on Slack because I have a problem with my smartphone, so I haven't been able to do anything with it.
Well, you're on a laptop, right?
Yes.
You can get Slack on your laptop.
Oh, I can. Okay.
Mhm.
All
So
right.
I just posted on Zoom. I just posted in the chat. There's a link to the Slack channel. I need you to click on that and sign up. Now, Ariana,
Yes.
I am going to add you to the shared folder, and I want to see if you can get access.
All right.
I got too many windows in my way. Okay. All right. Share. Paste. Ariana just said, looks like I added you.
Hmm.
Because I figure we'll mess around with this for a few minutes. Otherwise, we're going to have to figure out something else. Like in other classes, is this working for people or no?
I've had some difficulty, but it's working for my other class now.
How did you resolve it?
I checked in my junk emails and it was in my spam. The email that was telling me to confirm it, but
Did you just
can't find
get
that
any?
email.
I just added you to this folder. Did you get anything?
Looking. Don't see anything.
Did you check your spam?
Checking it now. I do not see anything.
Because I'm thinking I'm just going to set up a Google Drive. Because this is driving me nuts. Now, what's weird is I don't know why NSCC isn't doing this, but I know at other schools when I teach there, as long as you have a school address set up through Google, then you get unlimited drive for free. Which is cool. All right. Let's see, I can use 15 gig. I'm wondering if 15 gig is okay. Yeah, I'm just setting up. We're going to do a test here. We're going to go assignment 1. Assignment 2. Really all I need is examples in assignment 1. And really all I need is a folder for thumbnails. Okay, now what we're going to do is systematically go through this thing here. And I'm going to see if I can share this with you guys. So I'll share it. Let's see, I'm just going to share. I'm going to see get shareable link. And I'm going to say anyone with this link on the internet can do it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the chat. How do I get to the chat thing? I'm just showing you guys all this stuff. Stop sharing. So under the chat, there we go. Okay, I just chatted you a link to my Design for Print folder. And I would like for everybody to do is go under the Design for Print and assignment 1 under thumbnails. I'd like for everybody to upload their thumbnails at this point. See if we can get there.
I try to drag and drop and it says I do not have permission to.
Okay, thank you. That's good feedback. All right.
Yeah, you just added us as a viewer. You got to put it on there so that we're able to edit it.
Yeah,
I mean, able to come in.
let's see. Oh, viewer got it. Editor. Done. Now it should work. Try it now.
Go.
Hey, that's Roderick. Hey, Roderick. You missed last class, right? Beth said you had the days mixed up.
Yeah, I did. I was calling her the day after class, but I'm here and I will be here.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Sorry we're having to take care of this stuff, but I just need to get a means by which we can like upload stuff.
Oh yeah, I watched last class. It was nice, very thorough. Nice to meet everybody.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like this Zoom thing. We can actually like put them up and Chris, watching this one's going to be a drag. Watching this, trying to figure out all this drive
Nah, I
stuff.
love it because it's always just, that's kind of cool because you can't miss much. You can pick up on every little detail
Yeah, it's cool.
and always go back and reassure yourself because it's right there on video.
All right, got some thumbnails going in.
So you wanted us to take pictures of our thumbnails?
Yeah,
Okay.
or scan them just so that we have a record. Like, I'm really trying to like keep this stuff. I'm just really trying to be thorough, and that's the way it's easy for me to grade, and it's easy for me to kind of keep up with everything, with what's going on.
Yeah, I see how you got us. How you want us to label? How you want us to organize the files to label each file?
Yeah, I don't know how the school normally does it, so instead of finding out, I just kind of
It's similar to that. Most teachers usually make up their own stuff for real.
yeah,
So
and it's kind of
from
it's good to get you guys in the habit. Great, Jeff, you put your examples up. It's also great to get you in the habit of just following examples, following this stuff, because every place you work, every kind of client you have, it's all going to be different anyway. So just get in the habit of like labeling your files correctly.
whose examples are these, Jeff's?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So how are you able to get them? What did you pull your examples from? Where?
Where'd I get the examples from? Google.
You kind of just made a PDF on a
Yeah, just using
Adobe or
InDesign.
something?
Yeah, just using
Yeah,
InDesign,
okay.
just placed them and then exported it as a PDF.
Right, because I kind of built my board off of Pinterest, I guess. It was a lot faster and quicker to grab
I know.
a bunch
I
of
noticed
ideas.
that I saw somebody, I think it was Ariana. Did you email me? You're the one who emailed me your PDF, right? You pulled it right off of Pinterest.
I did.
Yeah, you can apparently you can make a board and then export it from Pinterest.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I'm all right. Great.
I didn't use Pinterest though, so
Oh, see, who
It's
did?
funny,
Did
it
it
said
send it?
Pinterest. All right. Hello. I'm talking to Matthew's sister. Hi. Okay, so is everybody getting their stuff together?
So I created I went onto Slack on my desktop and tried to create. I had to create an Outlook account, and now I don't know what to do. I mean, I tried going back into the thumbnail, the link you had to download thumbnails or upload thumbnails. Is that where you wanted us to go, or was there somewhere different?
Okay, well, Slack is completely different. Slack is just a means by which we're going to be communicating. Now, in this Zoom link, this chat that I just gave you, that's giving you access to a drive that I created.
Okay.
To where you can start uploading your work.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like we lost, oh, there he is. Everybody's moving around. It was like, I lost Jeff.
So if we created a Pinterest board, how are we going to share that with the group? You can get a link through Pinterest, but I don't see any way to make a PDF.
Well, for class purposes, you can share your screen, which is what we'll be doing. And then to turn it in, what you could easily do is just take a screen capture and name it with your name, the way I've asked you to name stuff.
Okay.
Because I don't know, let me see. There's a way on Pinterest.
It'll give you a link that you can click to go directly to the board.
Uh-huh. Let's see. I'm just going to do a quick Google search, exporting Pinterest board to PDF. Okay, here's a, you can try this. I'm going to put it in the channel or in our Zoom chat here. Here's a link. Okay, here's a link. Links in the chat. Looks like Lisa, you uploaded your thumbnails to Zoom.
Yeah, I know. I never used Google Drive actually. So, okay, so can I delete these or is it too late?
You can just leave those up. It's fine. I didn't know you could do that. So, who asked me? Linda, I
Yeah.
just posted a link that's a link online that'll tell you how to export your Pinterest board to a PDF.
Okay, I'm reading it now.
directions.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to the Google Drive and it says design for print assignment and thumbnails and I see other people's thumbnails, how do I actually download mine? I know it says download all, but I didn't want to download my whole desktop, so I didn't know how to pick and choose.
Okay, so we got thumbnails. So you should just, isn't it just as easy as dragging and dropping, guys? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, she can just, from a file explorer, just drag it straight into the window there, and
Okay,
it'll start to upload.
okay, let me try that.
Yeah, just take your file and drag it into the window. It's drag and drop.
All right.
How do I change my list view? There we go. So it looks like I've got Grisette's, I've got Jeff's, I've got, is that, let me see, who's this? It's Linda, I got Linda's. I got Marianne's, but Marianne, I need you to name it properly. Part of this class is I'm going to be a real stickler on making sure that you name things correctly. Because it's important in the professional land that we name files exactamundo. All right, who we missing? Zach, were you able to get on the Zoom or the Google and?
Yeah, just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to get these pictures right, okay? They're kind of a little more.
Yeah, I know you're hungry. And also, I messed up and didn't feed my dog before we started class. He's going to bug the crap out of me, especially since I have M&Ms.
Can somebody tell me again how I'm supposed to drag and drop from, I have a Mac, does that make a difference?
Oh, okay, hang on. I think a demonstration is in order.
Maybe it's only for me though.
All right, hang on. So, sorry to crunch, guys. I'm going to share my window. All right, do you see my screen? Lisa, do you see my screen?
Yes, yes I do.
Okay, so it should be, you see that everybody else, you see all these other pieces up here, right?
Right.
So it should be, let's just say, I'm going to take a screenshot. And we'll just call that Word file. Where did it go? There it is. All right, so here's my screenshot. There it is. Great. Let's say this screenshot is your file. So you'd label it F2020 underscore, was it design for print? And then these are your A1 thumbnails. Right, we're gonna call them that. So navigate to your Finder wherever your thumbnails are, and then you just drag them and drop them in. That's it.
Yeah, that's
See how it
like,
says, see how it says it's uploading?
right.
That's how it works.
That's what I
Hey,
tried.
Chris.
Okay, let me try again.
Yeah.
So I've got my files uploaded to the drive. How do I move them to yours?
Drag them into the link that I sent you. So in chat, I sent you a link to my drive. Click on that. You should basically see this. Designed for print. You should see this setup here. Go into assignment 1. Go to thumbnails and just drag them in.
Did you put the link in the Slack chat?
No, I put it in the Zoom chat.
Well, yeah, I saw it there, but
Mm-hmm. That's where it is. Where's my chat? There it is, chat. There's a Slack one, and then that's not it. Here it is. It's from me. It's the Drive Google, this one. Do you see it, Matthew?
sorry, what are we looking at?
Okay, do you see my shared, see my shared screen?
Yes.
All right. Do you see this one that says in your individual
Chris,
chat, like next to
it's-
your in Zoom, there should be a chat window.
You're just
I
seeing
can't-
your web page. You only
Huh?
have you only have your browser window shared right now. Whatever you're doing, we can't see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try it again. Should be desktop. Share. Oh, I see. You can't see it because it's in Zoom. So go under chat. In the Zoom window, there's a chat. Little icon at the bottom. Do you see that?
Yes, I'm in the Zoom chat.
Great. And I look for one from me with a Google link.
Okay. I'm there.
Great. And so now you clicked on it and it opened up Drive, and you can see you see this design for print folder here. Hang on. And under assignment 1, can you navigate to that? Assignment 1, you see it?
Yes.
Now you click on assignment 1 and then it reveals thumbnails.
I clicked on both.
Both what? Okay, so you click, so now you're in and you see all this stuff. So now all you have to do is drag your file into this live open window.
Okay. What?
I want to get rid of this.
Oh.
Why is this taking forever?
What?
Make sure you're under the run sign first. And then try to upload there. I think.
All right, so I'm showing, I've got Grisette, I've got Jeff, I've got Marianne Maloney, thank you.
So
Got
what it,
Linda.
No.
I've got Ariana.
Oh, there's in the folder.
it's saying I don't have permission to download to this folder, and that's why I
Try
can't.
new. See if you can upload like.
It says you don't have permission.
Right.
Re-click the link or refresh your screen. Just refresh the window. Because
Okay.
I added anybody with the link has permission to
These in a folder.
All right.
upload.
Better yet, I'll have to put these in a folder.
Welcome to the 21st century, where everything is difficult.
Something different.
More difficult than it needs to be. Okay, we're going to give this another 5 minutes, and then we shall return to this, but I want to get this class moving, because it's been about 40 minutes now trying to figure this out, and we need to cover some stuff.
Oh, wait, I need. I need to make a PDF for the 3 folders.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Grisette. Thank you, Ariana. Looks like, ooh, I got Lisa in now. Did that work? Did it work?
Wait, nope.
No, it's saying I don't have permission.
Who's El Aslangar?
You said you. Wait.
That's not me.
I need to put those.
It's me, Linda.
Okay, got yours.
I was gonna.
Mine's still not letting me do that. And I renamed them according to your the way you wanted to do it. Too.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to revisit that because everybody else can get in. I just basically said if you have the link, you can edit. So I have no idea what's going on with that.
Lisa, are you logged into a Google account?
No. Well, Outlook, no, that's not Google.
Yeah, if your browser's not logged into a Google account, it's might not let you do it because you're not an actual user.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm using Google Chrome if that's what you mean. But I don't have a Google account. I don't have Gmail.
That could be it.
I just created an Outlook account and I have Yahoo, and I had the email from Nashville State that supposedly was supposed to work, but that doesn't. So I guess I need to create a Gmail account, maybe.
Well, it's free. It's worth a shot.
Lisa, if you'll create the Gmail account and then enable Google Drive, your life will get a lot easier.
Okay. All right.
I have internet now. What's going on?
Actually, you missed absolutely nothing.
Okay, cool. I was freaking out. Okay.
No, listen, Michaela, did you upload your stuff? Like I sent a new link. Let me catch you up. I sent a new link to Drive because OneDrive wasn't working. So we're just going to use Google Drive.
Okay.
So I basically mirrored everything that we need to up to this point. On this drive, all you have to do is update it or upload your stuff.
Okay. Do we access the drive just going to Google Drive and using our school?
No,
login?
what I under in your Zoom window under chat,
Oh, okay.
you'll see a link from me. Actually, let me just update. I'll just send a new one, just so it's there for everybody. And that's the most recent. Hang on, my drive. Sign for print. I'm going to get shareable link. Double check. Everybody with this link can edit. I'm going to copy the link. And
Okay.
So now I just put the link in the chat window. So now you have to do is click on it and navigate to the like assignment 1, thumbnails. I also have an examples, so you can post your examples up. And with that, we are going to get started with class because this is going on too long. Okay, so who has
Like upload directly into the thing.
did someone ask me a question? I can barely hear.
Yeah, try it. See if you can upload it directly into there. Go to new.
Okay. Jeff, why don't you start us off, please? Let's take a look at your poster examples.
Okay.
Does everybody know how to share a screen? I'm assuming you know how to share a screen, right, Jeff?
Clicking on it, it says host disabled attendee screen sharing. That's on you.
Well, that's funny because I don't know how to disable it. Hang on. Let me see. I think that's something that Nashville State probably set up. How do I got to figure that out. How do I enable participants?
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I finally got the PDF in. I'm just going to rename it.
Okay, great.
Chris, you'll have to go back to your original Zoom page where you logged in and go into the settings there to change that, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the quick menu here, and it doesn't allow me to rename themselves. Oh my God. Okay. I'm hoping I don't have to end this meeting to do that. Thanks, Nashville State. Let's see, I'm going to edit. I'm going to edit this occurrence.
I think I got it here.
Well, screw it. I don't know how to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Jeff's handy dandy little PDF that he made, and I'm going to share screen. Could this be any more complicated? I don't think so. Okay, so under your examples, I see Jeff. Cool. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. There's always a way around it. All right. Everybody see what I'm looking at?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Got some nice examples here, Jeff. Looking good.
Yeah, I tried to stay away from movie posters as much as I could, just because movie posters are, I mean, they're movie posters. So,
Well, what does that mean? Tell me.
to me, it's like a lot of these, the creativeness is driven towards that advertisement of just that movie. To where some of these I was just trying to get, I don't know, I kind of shared them for just the general aesthetic of them, not necessarily the exact content of it, but just the design aesthetic, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you got some nice, interesting ones. Are there any ones that you want to talk about? Well, let's talk about that movie posters for a minute, right? Movie posters are to do one thing. What is that?
To sell the movie, make people want to come to that movie.
And think about it, Americanized movie posters, movies, what are they selling really?
The stars.
The stars, right? And so every movie poster you see in America has who on it? It's like a literal, okay, so let's talk about this for a minute. Let me give you a little primer. everybody get out a pen and paper. I want you to like take notes and stuff. There's two things that we need to kind of focus on, right? That I want to talk about for just a minute. I'm sorry, I'm doing a couple of things at once here, so my brain is getting a little. There is, in my mind, there's a couple ways to look at it. I haven't really given you the whole conceptology thing. This is something that I want to talk with Beth about. It's like introducing more concepts and conceptual thinking into the curriculum here. But in my mind, there's basically two kinds of visuals. There's a literal depiction. What do you think a literal depiction is?
Like just a picture of something, like not like metaphorical or anything.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if we're talking about an apple, I show you an apple, right? And then there's a figurative translation, right? Figurative translation is where we use metaphor, right? Some of this stuff, I would say that, Jeff, where do you think most of these that fall under that I'm showing you here, where do you think which category do you think? Figurative translation or literal depiction?
Figurative. Well, 50-50.
Yeah, there's some. Like this one's hard. This one's a hybrid. Where do you think this one falls?
Literally just, it's a hybrid, so like kind of that good in between.
Well, it's kind of like, I would consider it a figurative translation, but it's actually, you know, it is the Eiffel Tower, but it's
Right.
metaphorically, it's not the Eiffel Tower, is it?
True.
Right? Whereas this one, where do you think this one falls?
The non-metaphor. It's
The literal.
Yeah, the literal
depiction, right? Because it's a scene. I would say that's where 90% of the movie posters in America are, right? It's a literal depiction of what you will see in the theater.
Cannot. All right.
Does that make sense? I feel like I lost you a little bit, Jeff.
Hold on 1 second. I think my kids are going to bed. Hold on. Sorry.
Smack them for me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go put your kids to bed. All right, everybody else, let's talk. Can everybody see this, right?
Yeah.
So we've got some figurative translations here, right? Look at this. Will a big popsicle actually fit into a shopping cart?
No.
I mean, it'd fit on top of it. I mean,
do like a large, like look how they're achieving like a figurative translation without really doing a whole lot. All it is with size. Proportion really makes this thing big. So I feel like I need to back up and just kind of go through a bunch of stuff here. Figurative translation is anything metaphor. Literal depiction is anything where we show. And the way that I teach concept is that we have to introduce contrast. There's context and there's contrast. I think Jeff and Matthew, I think you guys were you guys remember that from Design 1?
Yeah.
So contrast is very important because it's the point of interest. What's the point of interest in this poster here?
Giant popsicle.
What makes it giant?
The fact that the shopping cart's so little.
Mm-hmm. So there's context and there's contrast. What is context, guys?
Like a message?
Could be a message.
It's the environment that you're in.
You got it. It's
the environment.
Well, let's just say, what's the context of this meeting tonight?
To learn.
Design for print.
Advertise.
Goal. Hang on, Roderick. What'd you say?
Design for print.
Design for print. What is that?
design and learning how to design stuff for printing. All
Well,
methods of printing.
very easily, it's a class.
Oh
The
yeah,
context of our meeting is a class tonight. Like very like if
Right.
you zoom out to the farthest level,
Okay.
we're meeting because we're a class. Now you zoom in a level, then you get design for print. That's the context. So the things that we're going to be talking about,
Okay.
right, are design and for print. Does everybody get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the context, the context of this thing is a class, right?
Right.
Now, what points of what things could I bring in that would actually contrast with the context of classroom?
Something fun?
Something fun, like what? For
Your
instance,
dog
Yeah, like a
showing up
dog.
mid camera.
my dog showing up,
Contrasting.
contrasting.
Wouldn't mind seeing you with a hula hoop.
If I
Let's
hula
go.
hoop, if I cracked a beer right now, that would be in contrast with the
Talking
context.
about things that have nothing to do with the subject.
Right.
I think it's more so like
Technical difficulties.
Well, that's definitely
being
in
alone,
context.
studying by yourself, training yourself, learning on your own.
Well, that's in well, yeah. But what I'm saying is like what contrasts with the while existing in the classroom, like just little things that we can do. So let me bring it home. So we have right here, we have a poster, right? With a, I'm looking at the popsicle one. What is the context of this poster?
It's a Target ad.
It's a Target ad. What tells you that it's a Target ad?
The symbol on the bottom right and the red shopping cart.
Red shopping cart. Do its dimensions tell you that it's a poster?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm sure if we could read this type, that would play into it. Where is the point of contrast?
Sorry, I made everything. The simplicity of the background and like I guess the colors also, like the bright orange against the blue.
I think it's
Also,
just
I
the
guess
size of the
Yeah.
pop.
It's
and-
just the
and-
size
Yeah,
relationship
the
between
size
the
of it.
cart
Yeah.
and the popsicle.
Thank you. That's the point of interest. That's what makes it interesting. Right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
But everything else is small besides those three big items. So those catch your eye first.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is what you consider a triptych, right? There's three, there are three posters that work together. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Let me see. I don't know if I can. This is far. Let's talk about this guy. Can everybody see this guy right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are going to be a little tricky to teach from, but let's give it a shot. What is, just from this illustration here alone, what is the context? And so here's the deal. The easiest way to work with concept is this. Take inventory. Linda, tell me what you see.
To me, it looks like he's stepped through a piece of paper, or
Okay,
he's going through a doorway that's curled up.
stop. You are trying to make meaning. I don't want you to make meaning yet. I just want you to list out, take inventory. Have you ever worked at like retail or anything and you had to take inventory?
Yes.
What do?
You count everything.
You count everything, right?
Yes.
So just tell me, let's take inventory of this piece of paper, of this illustration right here. Let's just itemize what is on it.
Okay, it's a red background. Looks like a white piece of paper curled at one end, and a male silhouette kind of through the paper.
Male silhouette, what else? What about the male silhouette?
He's facing away.
It's facing away. Also, what else? I heard it. Who said
Professional.
Yeah, professional.
it? Well,
like in a
that's
suit.
that's meaning.
Oh.
What do you see?
Okay.
Just tell me
He's
what you
wearing a
see.
suit.
He's wearing a suit. Right. That's taking inventory. I want you guys to start getting in the habit of taking inventory. Right? Now what we can do is we can assign those pieces. We have a guy, a male silhouette. What tells you that he's male?
The broad shoulders, the short
Body
haircut.
structure, hair, not hair, but body structure mostly.
Body
I mean,
structure.
he wearing a suit.
And he's wearing a suit. Like ladies can wear suits too, right? But something about his proportion, the way his shape of his head goes, you know, it's more than likely the cliches lead us to this is a male, right? Okay, what else do we got? We got that. We got this piece of paper, and we got red. And it looks like there's actually, I can't zoom in, but Jeff, can you tell me, is Jeff back? Jeff, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Is there type in the background?
There is. Let me see if I can get a bigger one of it.
Can't see the type. I can see it. I can zoom in far enough, but it's not. You can't read it.
Can you read it?
A lot of type. Nah, but it's definitely a lot of little type in the background.
Mm-hmm. That would be a very big contextual clue. I'm quite certain.
Yeah, no, not even the original has. It was all smushed up. I can see if I can find the actual original though. Shigeyo Fukuda.
For next class, I want to figure out how you guys can share the screen. I'm sure Nashville, just like Nashville Tech outlawed me, like they set up the drive to where I can't share it just by anybody with link, which kind of drives me crazy. I guess they're scared that you guys are going to do something irresponsible with the Zoom feed.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the text isn't gonna help too much. Most of it's in Japanese.
Okay, it's in Japanese.
There is a date, 26 September, 11 November, graphic design. It looks like a graphic design today conference. It's a conference poster.
Now, with that context, this thing makes a whole lot more sense, doesn't it?
What kind of poster is it?
It's for a
graphic design conference.
Yeah, it's for a graphic
okay.
design conference.
Okay. Oh, you do make more sense now.
So with that, if we're talking about this as a poster for graphic design, what things in the what things in the inventory that we just took reinforce that context? Graphic design poster.
Paper.
Paper. What else?
The guy.
Why?
The business professional. He's in a suit, but
yeah.
I mean he's a business professional going to
a suit.
Hence it's a business conference.
Okay, so great. So we've got a guy in a suit, piece of paper, red background, and a bunch of type that talks about graphic design. That can all, like everything that we've taken inventory of, actually enforce the context, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah? Just reinforces the context. Where's the point of contrast?
The man?
The paper going through his legs.
Exactly. What doesn't make sense? Right? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
No.
Can everybody see how this point of contrast makes it interesting to look at? That's all our job. That's our only job. Make something interesting to look at. That communicates the message that we're trying to put across. Do you think this in this instance, do you think it does a good job or a bad job?
Good.
It's interesting.
I picked it out, didn't I? Right? Out of all these things, I was like, hey, let's talk about this one. That seems successful. Real quickly, let's take this one over here. And Lauren, give me inventory of this illustration here you see.
Paperclip, brown background, and feet
Right.
at the ends.
Now, we
Okay.
have no idea what the context of this is for. Like, we have no idea, right? Can you understand what it's about?
Not necessarily. The only thing I could think of is maybe something office related, obviously, but
Can you, but where is the point of contrast?
would it be the feet at the end of the paperclip?
Right.
Okay.
Now, this is a great example of something that I could teach from. What kind of contrast are we talking about here? There's two kinds. Matthew, Jeff, do you remember those from class?
Visual and intellectual.
Yeah, there you go. Visual contrast and intellectual contrast. Right? So if we were to discuss the visual contrast here, what would it be, Lauren?
That it's feet on a paperclip?
No, where's the visual contrast here?
The colors.
Colors.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Okay, I
it's
see what you're saying.
contrast, right?
Right,
There's
I see what you're saying.
There's definitely contrast here, so it's visual.
Okay.
What kind of contrast are the feet on a paperclip? What kind of contrast is that?
I'm assuming that would be the other one, which is intellectual.
Intellectual. Why is it intellectual contrast?
I'm going to explain this wrong, but I'm assuming because you have to because you know that feet don't go on paper clips.
There you go. It's very easy. Who's ever seen feet on a paperclip?
Okay.
In the world, Jeff, it looks like it's storming next to you in your place.
Yeah, it just started.
Yeah, it started here too. Jeff, you must be in Clarksville.
Clarksville, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another quiz. So everybody clear on that? I want to stop right here. I want to make sure that we're good to go, because that's the language we're going to use when we critique. Is everybody clear on, we just covered a whole lot of stuff. Context, contrast, and then the 2 kinds of contrast. There's visual contrast, then there's intellectual contrast. Is everybody clear on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you promise?
Yes.
Sort of.
For how much of this is new information to you guys?
That's new information to me.
Not that it's new, it's just being reinforced, I guess.
Being reinforced.
So, yeah, kind of bringing it back to the top.
Okay, good. All right.
Just the more we talk about it and talking in that type of language is coming back to me to be able to continue the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like keep the conversation going.
Good.
So I think the more that we actually stay in it, it'll become more natural to because just when you first started, I wasn't really familiar with it at all.
Good.
Or it's just, I guess it's more so the terminology that you're using. I've never heard it. It's just said differently in different settings, you know?
Yeah. All right, Roderick. Break this one down. Take inventory of this piece here.
All right. So if I'm taking inventory, all I see is assuming a man silhouette with women hands around his shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Well, we see hands. What tells us that they're women's hands?
The red fingernails.
Red fingernails. Right?
Yeah. So I see red fingernails. I see hands. I see a man's silhouette. And that's honestly, and it's black and white and red, you know.
Cool. What do you think the context of this piece is?
It'll be the white hands without a face or anything like that.
Who can help them out? What's the context of this? Well, we'll just call it a poster for lack of a better term.
I guess it's like a romance.
There we go. Romance. Perfect. Romance.
Oh, okay.
right? Just romance.
So, but can I ask a question? So when you was on the other poster, on the real one at the bottom with the guy
Yeah.
on the graphic design poster,
Yeah.
when you asked us what was the context, what's the context of that one? Because
was
it
a-
wasn't really like a single word. We kind of
Yeah, well, we
explained a
had more information. You know, really, context is just like there's a bunch of ways that we can zoom. Here, let me just break this one down. Okay, so there's the context of this. There's a context is the intellectual environment in which your idea lives. That's pretty much, I don't know, it's the most general way to put it, right? So it's like, what's it about? Like context, we can talk about a whole lot of things. It was like, okay, this is a poster, right? About, in the context of it, because we see a man with woman hands and the location of her hands, like on the back of a head, on the top of his back, on the back of his head. What does that really imply?
They're close. They're standing close.
That's close. That's like where a woman would put her hands if she was going to kiss a man, right?
Right.
So it's very specific. So the context very generally is about, we could call it a kiss, we could call it romance, whatever. You know, that's the
Theory.
context.
I got a theory.
Okay, Matthew, what's the theory?
What if that guy we were just talking about and the guy in the sheet of paper, what if those guys were the same guy?
Could be. They're executed the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, Roderick. So yeah, context, I don't want you to get tripped up about, like, context could be a bunch of things. Romance is probably the easiest way to set this context up. It's
No,
like,
see, I guess what I was saying was kind of like, no, because I understand what you're saying. I feel it. And I just was curious of when you ask somebody, like when you asked me what was the context, I wouldn't have instead of saying just romance, I would have been trying to say more than one word. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get with the romance, but I said I was saying like, the context is obviously a woman holding a man instead of me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just say romance.
And
I
that would be
that's fine, right?
That would also be accurate.
Right. So it's just, I got you. You just, romance put it really in a broader spectrum because you really don't know. It's just, yeah, okay.
Now, Roderick. Now we've established the context. The context is romance or a woman kissing a man or some kind of dating, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the contrast?
The other hands isn't connected to anything. It's just
There we go. Is that visual or intellectual contrast?
Visual. I mean, we can see it.
I would say that it could be visual. Now, also, what's the other point of contrast here?
The red.
The red fingernails, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's a bonus question. What Gestalt principle is being used here?
What?
Figure ground.
Is it figure ground?
Yeah. Well, closure.
There you go. Closure.
Wouldn't it can really be both of them, wouldn't it?
Well, figure ground is where, just like that illustration of the two vases. Here.
No, but
let me see. Hang on. That's what I love about teaching from the internet. Let's see if that pulls it up. Yeah, you see these? This is figure ground. Even though they do use closure, what makes this figure ground? Shoot, it's going crazy, sorry. What makes this one figure ground? Okay, I'll explain it to you. What makes it figure ground is that depending if you look at the figure or the ground, it changes. So in a figure ground
Gotcha.
relationship, the background and the foreground swap places. Do you see that? Does
Okay.
everybody see that when you focus on the white space here, you see a vase? And the black gets, in your mind, the black gets pushed to the background. But if you focus on the black, you see two faces, and the vase gets pushed to the background. Is that clear to everybody?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, let me see where I was. So this one, is anything getting pushed to the background here?
No.
No, so it's not figure ground. Does
Gotcha.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Are we learning? Sounds like we're
Yes.
learning.
A little bit.
Okay. There's a lot of nice stuff in here, Jeff. Okay, that's good enough for Jeff's. Good. Where'd you pull these from, just so everybody knows?
Just a lot of Googling.
A lot of Googling. Yeah, there's a lot of nice stuff. This is all very, this is updated, but this is all very Saul Bassey.
Ooh.
Here's a figure ground. Look at that. Figure ground right there.
Loading September 7th.
This one is more closure than
Oh,
figure ground.
September 7th. I already read for you. Sorry.
Okay, let's see. Who's next? I'm gonna close this out. Oh my God, I can't find it now. I go back. This is all old student work. This is, here we go.
Nice picture of yourself.
Well, thanks. It's a professional shot. Okay, design for print.
Hey, Chris, can I put the link in the chat and you kind of can scroll through my Pinterest board? I'm just gonna screenshot. I'm gonna do it like
Can you upload it to the drive?
I'm doing that now. I'm actually going through like what's my man's name? And going through and putting them on InDesign. Jeff, I'm cutting them up and putting them on InDesign and I'm gonna upload them like he got it like that.
Let me in here.
So it's easily looked at because trying to get it on Pinterest, and I tried to get a straight PDF of just the whole board, and Pinterest blocks them out. Like all of my actual posters ended up turning to these big black squares if you convert it to a PDF. So I have to go through and screenshot each individual poster
I'm
and
gonna stop
put
sharing.
it on.
Hang on. I'm having trouble getting in this folder again. Get in there. Let me in. Yeah, well, I'm really only going to go over like one or two. I just want to make sure. I need them updated so that I need them uploaded so that I can properly record your grade is all. Let's see. Who else? Let's see. Let's look at grisettes real quick. Good Lord. Come on, open up.
No, it's muted. I have to.
Nice gazette.
Open. There it is. There it is. There it is. Great. Okay. Sharing here. Okay, this is Grisette's. Grisette, you with us?
Yeah.
All right. So this one was a Pinterest board that you said you didn't actually get Pinterest. See, it says Pinterest right there.
Yes.
Put that there?
No, actually, so what I did was I went to the option of where you can like print from the website page and it makes it shaped like that, and I saved it as a PDF.
Nice. That's exactly the example, like
See, mine had
direction.
blacked out all my squares were black when I tried to export it as a PDF.
It
Are you
said
using
that
Safari?
make sure that every image loads. That's what the directions. Roderick, I put directions in the chat in the Zoom how to do it. And one of the big things in Reddit said make sure all the images are loaded first. Because that's probably explains why. Look at everybody's dogs. Okay, let's break these down. Grisette,
Yes.
which one was your favorite?
Out of all of them, I think the one that mostly stood out to me is the one at the very bottom that said "No vote, no hope."
That's the one that stuck out to me too. Why?
Well, I think it's mostly due to well, it's mostly because color-wise, and also because it's like colors I think we've seen a lot with specifically like political posters. It's like very recognizable since it's always like the one.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see that color scheme?
It's the I keep thinking back to the one of when we had Obama as president. It was like that one specific poster that was done for him.
Extra points if you can tell me who did it.
I can't remember the name. I remember hearing about it, but I completely forgot like the name for it.
Who knows?
I know. It's Shepard Ferry.
Yes. Let's see. Ferry. Look, it's even his little thing. It's like what he's famous for nowadays. Look, you see that?
Yeah.
Everybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the first thing you thought of when you saw the color scheme?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
definitely.
one of the first ones I thought of immediately.
Yeah, and they're even using the typeface. What's the typeface?
A font?
Who knows the typeface? Extra credit if you know the typeface.
Oh.
Looks very Helvetica.
It's Gotham. Once Shepard Fairey used Gotham on that Obama poster, it took off like crazy. Okay, why? Is it just because the color scheme?
Well, I think it was also the way how it's kind of like clustered in, because most people would try to make it more like not as together. Like I've seen some people say where it's like try not to keep the words as like close to each other, kind of try to put more space. Well, with this one, it's like completely
Who says that?
very close together. They're connecting, but you can still read it.
Okay, let's talk about, okay, take inventory, Grisette. I can already tell you're overthinking. Just take inventory. It's really easy.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to come up with.
What do you see? Just tell me what you see.
Colors, shapes, words.
Yeah, pretty much just the colors, the shapes everywhere, the words, the lines.
Like specifically.
Yeah, specifically, what do you see?
Well, I see specifically where it says no vote, no hope.
Well, it says that, but we have the word no.
Yep, the no mostly is prominent.
We have
Twice.
the word vote. We have the word no again, and we have the word hope. And then what colors do you see?
You see like a really dark blue, and then like a really bright red, and then like a more lighter blue. And then we have like the yellow kind of tint to it.
There you go. I was wondering if I'm always interested to see what people respond, what they say, and then what they leave out. And a lot of people would leave out because that's the background color. Some people won't even acknowledge it, right? So part of taking inventory, and this is why I work with my students on, it helps you see everything. It's like I used to have this therapist friend who would, in therapy, she would work with people and she would show them a picture of Kim Kardashian. And she would kind of lead them through the same kind of exercise and say, what do you see? And they would say, Kim Kardashian. It's like, well, it's a woman on a blue background you know, with all of this stuff, and you know, instead of just being, oh, it's Michael Jackson, right? You know what I mean? Cool. What's the point of contrast here? First of all, let's just talk about contrast for a minute. Let me test your shorthand now. What kind of contrast is present? Is it intellectual or visual?
I think it's more visual.
Like there's really no intellectual contrast whatsoever.
Mm.
No.
There could be, right? Just in the idea of there's contrasting things that work together here. No vote, no hope, right? If you don't vote, there's no hope. You know what I mean? So there's maybe a little bit, but not really. Not enough. Most of the contrast is visual. Where's the visual contrast here?
The visual is mostly between the three colors. Like that's the most contrast that's happening there.
There's more though. Where can you identify any more?
It would also be between the words, because with the word no, it's a bit bigger compared to the word vote and hope. It's more like bigger compared to those two.
Proportion, right? Can you guys remember those Target posters that we looked at earlier?
Yeah.
That was interest just created by proportion, right? Things are out of proportion. Proportion is very important. Can you identify any place on your board that actually has intellectual contrast?
I can see one.
Who said that?
Me.
Okay.
I guess the very first one where it says use your voice, you'd be like, well, that's supposed to be teeth there.
Right. There's some intellectual contrast there, isn't there? Where's the visual contrast?
Colors?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I think you articulated it pretty well, but how well, that's another thing where I like work with my designers, because I want to make sure that they can articulate where the intellectual contrast on that piece is. See how concise you can be.
In the mouth of the figure, I guess to the right of the of the picture, usually we would expect there to be teeth, but it sort of subverts that expectation. It makes contrast that way.
Exactly. There's words where there should be teeth. Not bad. Are we getting this? It's fairly straightforward. I pride myself on being able to teach things using a very limited vocabulary here. I don't really want to teach you guys a whole, we don't have to be, where this isn't intellectual, it's very easy. It's really more developing, instead of developing your intellect, my goal is to develop your awareness. Right?
Basically like anything that makes you think.
Wait, what? You sounded like a robot.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, you still sound like a robot. A drowning robot.
It sounds like you're talking through a fan.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it, yeah. That's what it sounds like. Did we lose her? Okay.
Try to fix things.
Okay, so I'm going to go back. And you guys want to do one more, and then we'll move into thumbnails?
Sure.
Who hasn't? Oh, Grisette, looks like yours are up twice.
I actually uploaded 2 different ones.
Oh, you did? Okay. Who do we want to go to now? Let's do Linda.
Do I still sound like a robot?
Can you?
No, you sound better now.
Okay, cool.
Are you able to rotate that? It looked fine on my screen.
That's weird. Oh, that's a likely story, Linda. Oh, it looked fine. It looks fine over here.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know if there's a
Everybody tilt your head to the left.
Should we try? Can we work with the sideways here, guys?
I guess.
Let's do it.
My neck's gonna get tired.
Baby.
Tilt your whole
Sit on me,
laptop.
baby.
I'm gonna mentally calibrate here. Okay, Linda, let's talk about yours. Where'd you get them?
Mostly from Pinterest because apparently these are all sort of political, and apparently people collect posters on Pinterest. I was not aware of that, and so one thing just led to another, and that's how I knew who Shepard Fairey was, because there's quite a few of his works in here, because I found that I really liked him, so I looked him up to see the whole story. I did kind of remember him from the Obama era, but he's got some talent. I think I really like his work. It makes me look more than once just to see what he's trying to say. And I know you can't see it because there's a line through it, but the woman wearing the American flag as a head covering, that's my favorite one. That just says a lot to me, and you can't see her face, but she's very, she's very attractive. And obviously, what I got from it was that it doesn't matter where your family started out or where you started out or what your culture, religion, or race is. If you're American, you're American. And I think we kind of forget that sometimes, because there's a strong political intent there, and that really resonated with me. And there's a lot of vintage posters in here. I even threw in Nixon, because he was a pretty great politician, even though he was kind of a crook.
Well, that's which out of all these, which one is kind of like, let's take a fresh eye. Matthew, out of all of these, which one grabs your attention the most? I can already tell you're thinking too hard.
No, I'm just trying to decide.
I know, but you're deciding. No, it should be, just tell me which one attracted, like when you look away and you look back, where's your eye land? Do it. Look away and then look back and tell me where your eye lands.
The second row, guy with the pink suit.
The guy with the pink suit? What else can you say about him?
Kind of turquoise skin.
It's where my eye lands too. Is everybody with us, or?
Yeah, that's what I landed on.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
He's like a Smurf, man. He's got blue skin.
Because he's the brightest.
Well, everybody zoom out. I think I just heard it, but zoom out. Like, which of these things is not like the other, right?
Yeah.
It's the most different thing on the page, even though there's a pink thing next to it, above it, right? It still stands out. So, Linda, back to you. Let's talk about that one. Why do you think our eyes land on that one?
Well, obviously because his face is a lovely shade, and kind of contrasts with the background and the pink suit. So it's all about the color.
It's ripe. It's ripe with contrast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does everybody see how we are attracted to contrast?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually put it this way: we are attracted to conflict, right? Just look at all my relationships. But no, I mean, really, like, contrast, do we see how essential getting people's attention is, and contrast? That was poorly worded, but do we see the importance, like the correlation between contrast and getting people's attention?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Linda, how many different, how many points of contrast can you find? And please label them either whether they're visual or intellectual.
Well, I think all of the colors. I mean, the background, that dark yellow. Of course, his lips are also a nice yellow. His hair is dark, but you can still see some of that green showing through. The pink suit, and looks like his tie might be red. And that suit's got some stripes or coloration in it somewhere there. So I think that's all pretty visual.
Uh-huh.
I think the intellectual part would be trying to figure out that, what was the point of making him all these colors?
His mouth is yellow too.
Yes, his mouth is yellow.
Nice.
So it's funny though, like some of this very visual contrast, is it intellectual as well?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't see people with blue skin and yellow lips. And that's...
And who is this person?
That's Nixon.
Was Nixon green?
No, of course not.
No, of course not. Right? So right there, you take any politician, anybody who knows, and you make them a color, all of a sudden, we're going to take that, the audience is going to look at that colorization and they're going to try and assign meaning. You could just randomly do it with people today, anybody in the news, and assign them a different color, right? And people will assign meaning to it. Now, you could get yourself in trouble that way because if people assign the wrong meaning, then all of a sudden you could be in trouble, yes?
Right. Like a Batman villain.
Yeah, he looks like the Joker. All right.
What you're saying, so what you're saying is basically intellectual contrast is like, it's like irony.
Yeah, exactly. Exactamundo.
Things that are incorrect with each other.
So who can tell me extra points for anybody? Do you see this Bernie poster here?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's a ripoff or it's actually, but it's an homage. It's a visual gag. It's a visual homage here to what designer? Sorry, I'm moving it. Who can name the designer? He just died. He just died, by the way.
Yeah. M. Glacier.
Yeah, the New York logo.
Yes.
Good job. Milton Glaser.
Yeah, Milton.
And it was his Dylan poster. See that? You guys, everybody see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where was I? Shoot. Did I lose it? I lost it. Oh, there it is. We see that? It was an homage to his Dylan poster, right? So there's also look, it's all of a sudden it's pulling in all of that stuff. Has anybody ever seen that Dylan poster before?
Yeah.
I recently seen it. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's just talk about this. It's communicating, right? Because that's something that's an homage, whether it's Milton did it for him or it's somebody ripping off Milton. There are some things that are being communicated in this poster, are there not?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Bernie seeing his hair colored that way?
Confused?
Confused?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Is it endearing to anyone because of his hair is that way? Getting crickets.
I think it's kind of psychedelic more than endearing.
There you go. Well, I mean, and that really depends on your view of psychedelic.
Yeah.
If you like psychedelic, then it could be endearing. If you don't, then it's like, what's this hippie crap, right?
Yeah.
So bottom line, this is what I want you to take away. I want you to take away how we talk about the stuff. I want you to take away how your main job when you critique is to become aware. Because that's basically all we've done. I've just walked you through a critique process. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Right?
Right.
And I want you to become aware, and I want you to start thinking about things the way I've just outlined them. Because it will make you great at critique, and it will make you a better designer. Because you can start thinking, because everything that we put on the page needs to be done intentionally. Whether it's done intentionally or not, your audience is going to read it as if it were done intentionally. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. We still have lots of class to go through. My apologies, but I think what we need to do now is I need to take a pee break, and I'm assuming everybody else might need to kind of move and walk around for a minute, because I have to go, by the time we get done tonight, we have to go through these thumbnails. And here's the challenge. Since you can't share your screen, I'm gonna have to share it for you. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna create a, oh crap, something went wrong. Forgive me, yeah. Oh crap, something went wrong channel on our Slack. And for those of you who haven't updated and haven't uploaded to the Google Drive, I want you to just throw them in there and send them to me. Cool? So that means drag it in. You should just be able to drag it into this little, done. Should just be able to drag it into this little window down here and post. And like, say for instance here, this is how it works. You just take it, you take your file and you throw it in there, and then you hit the little green button. And it'll take a few seconds to upload. And then once you have it in there, I'll have it. And that way I can share your stuff to screen. But I still want you to upload it to Drive too. But this will be, because we need to go through all these thumbnails and you need to get feedback so I can get you started moving. But before we do that, I think what we do is we take a 10-minute pee break. Does that sound good to everybody?
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah.
10 minutes. So at like 7:48, I want you back here promptly. We still got a lot to do. So 7:48, take a take a pee break, and I'll see you then. Okay.
Okay.
Do 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 do. So I started watching Cobra Kai last night. I watched the whole first season.
Yes.
How is it?
Good. It's good. I liked it.
I've been meaning to watch the second season, but I really loved the first one.
Probably started tonight after class. I love this teaching from like home. It's awesome.
Mhm.
Next week we have to meet on campus.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so everybody stay COVID free.
No, I'm coming in coughing.
You're coming in a coffin.
If you're doing that, you're not even coming.
Oh, Bronson's about to start barking at me. I just gave him a banana. I was like, dude, I haven't fed you yet. Here, eat this. And he's like, that's not enough. Yeah, I almost prefer. It's kind of nice having this class online. It's cool.
But check, mic check.
Yeah, reading you loud and clear. Okay, 7:47. Let me see if I can get ready here. Design for print. One. Ooh, got a lot of them in here. Awesome. Okay, Michaela.
Hey,
Looks
does
like
anybody know the name of that sketch pad that connects to the computer? They had them on campus like 2 years ago.
oh, like
Wacom tablet?
Wacom, yeah.
What is it called?
Wacom tablet?
WACOM.
I always say it Wacom. I don't know how you say it, but
I think it's Wacom.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's still Wacom.
Michaela, it looks like I have 3 thumbnail files for you. Is that right? They're all different they're all different sizes. So, did you upload 3 different ones?
Oh, that thing's expensive.
Michaela, are you here?
Sorry, I thought I didn't think I was muted. Yeah, I did.
Okay, so it's all 3 of those are yours?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see if we can quickly jump in. Okay, I'm just going to go in the order in which I see them.
I didn't have 50. My brain was fried and I couldn't think of any more.
Okay, so let's talk about thumbnails for a minute. Did I give you this talk before? If I asked for 50 thumbnails, if I asked you for 50 push-ups, if I said now until next week, I want you to do 50 push-ups, would you wait an hour before class to do them?
No.
What if you just did 10 a day? Does that seem pretty doable?
It'd be easy.
Yes.
Thumbnails are the same way. You can do 10 thumbnails a day, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do 10 a day.
And the reason why I want you to stretch them out is because you'll rack your brain trying to do those 10, and then you'll rest. And then you'll come back again tomorrow, and you'll try and do another 10. Do you think you'll have the same ideas or different ones?
Different.
Different ones. Every time you do it in this, I want you to start breaking them down in sessions like that, because you're going to think differently every time you sit down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, who was saying that? I'm sorry, I didn't see the window light up. Who said that they didn't have 50 and had a hard time thinking of them?
Some other shit.
Oh, I did.
You did. What was happening in your brain when you would get stumped?
Yesterday.
Well, since it's political posters, I was like,
Well, 2 days ago.
what?
Hey, Roderick, will you mute for a minute? I'm going to mute him. I'm going to mute you. There you go. Cool. All right, tell me.
So since they were political posters, I was like, I thought it would be easier than it was, and it wasn't, because I because in your description, he's like, don't be super generic about it. And I was trying to think of like deeper meanings, but I'm really not loving the ones I came up with. I feel like they are a little bit generic. So that's why I couldn't think of 50. I just didn't have that many.
So let's talk about this. This is another place where I teach. What was going on in your brain when you were getting stumped? You were saying, "Oh, they're too generic. They're not good enough," right?
Yeah.
So you had a lot of self-judgment, yes?
Yes.
How many people feel that way sometimes? Like instead of thinking about your mental process should be about just being able to put down ideas, and that should be the sole focus, but somehow those thoughts of like, I'm not good enough, he's gonna hate it, all this stuff starts creeping in, doesn't it?
Mm,
How do you solve for that? How do you get around that?
I don't know. Look for different sources of inspiration.
Anybody else?
Do it anyways.
Do
I
it
guess.
anyway. Or white knuckle your way through it.
I mean, I got around it because I started with generic, and then generic, I used like one piece of each generic thing that I was doing, and then I kind of branched off of that, and then I did research. Research helped a lot.
How many of you feel like you have to be good at this?
Kind of. Yeah.
I do. I do. Yeah. What you mean good though? Like it's different. To me, it's to like she said, the research part or actually being a good like with graphics and design. Some people are good with like sketching and stuff like that, but they're not good at research and looking more into why you would draw like you said, the concepts of certain
well, how many who do we make these things for?
People.
Ourselves.
a client.
Our audience, right? And
yeah.
Are they people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're a person, right?
Yeah.
So you can identify when things are, you can kind of identify when things are good or bad, can't you?
Yeah.
Where I'm going with this is, all right, here's the deal. I think a lot of the mental blocks that we have it comes from a level of unacceptance, just like in life. Anybody ever is familiar with any mindfulness stuff?
Mm-mm.
Mindfulness.
You're talking some like Buddha yoga shit right here, Chris.
Yeah.
Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah, that's exactly where we're going with this. Because it's the same.
I don't deep dive into it, but I definitely indulge in like a lot of meditation. Just devouring my day, breaking it down, and trying to understand behaviors, reactions, and responses to a lot of things that I do and say and whatever.
And what's the point? When you sit down and meditate, what's the point?
It's to have a better understanding of why certain things happen or actually what actually happened. I'm actually to think about like in moments where like things were driven off emotion. A lot of stuff could be thought about in emotion, but then I sit down and I think about what actually happened. You know, I can feel like somebody was yelling at me today, but maybe they weren't really yelling. When I think about it, they probably just said something and we were outside and it was loud and they were screaming because of whatever. They were just a lot louder for whatever reason. And it gives you a chance to kind of, like I said, break down any and everything. Like even with these homework assignments, I'm going to sit and just dig into why and which poster I'm going to decide if it's going to pick a political side or do a voting poster. It's like, why would I pick one? And like, I'm going to dig through like strengths and weaknesses and stuff for myself and developing the poster and stuff like that. It just gives you more of a in-depth, basically like journal in your head though. It doesn't take any physical work or anything. It's all mental where you calmly going through your thoughts. And then you take those thoughts and put them into actual
going through your thoughts. Like just like the way I teach critique is to take inventory, right? Meditation is kind of like taking inventory of what's going on in here without getting caught up with the thought, right? And that's exactly what happens in the creative process. We'll be sitting down trying to draw something or trying to like think of ideas, and then all of a sudden we're preoccupied with the idea that what we're coming up with isn't good enough, or what I'm going to say and critique about it, or what, and then all of a sudden we're off on the races, and 80% of our brain power is being taken up by these thoughts, right? And in meditation, what we do is we look and we say, okay, there you are, thought. I see you, but I'm not going to like invest in this. I'm just going to note it and move on. So really what happens is, the point I want to make is that we're in school, right?
Yeah.
I want you to let go of the idea that you have to be good. Because if you were good, you'd be wasting your money doing this, wouldn't you?
True story.
So we can all agree that we're not good. Just embrace that. We're not good. We don't have to be good. What do we need to do? We need to make 50 thumbnails, and we need to be okay with the fact that maybe they're not going to be good, and knowing that, hey, we're going to go through these 50. It's the process that's the most important here. And I'm telling you, if you can let some of this go, you'll find that your work gets a lot better. I promise you. So you don't have to be good, but you have to do the 50. You have to, the process here is the most important part. Because without the process, concepting cannot be rushed. If you do not do the work, you will not get to the place where you, trust me, I have to go through a lot of crappy ideas before I get somewhere. And I have to do the same things that I'm teaching you. I have to work my butt off to try and generate something, and then I go to sleep and I look at it with new eyes the next day, and I have way better insight. That's how it works. This isn't a switch. This isn't a thing. You can't rush this thing. When I give you 50 thumbnails, we have to do all 50. That's just the way it is. And I'm prescribing these things like a doctor because I want your mind to start going through these phases that it takes to get somewhere good. Because at first, when you're a student, you have to do 50, you have to do 100, you have to do a ton. But once you start, I'm training your brain on how to think. I'm not training you what to think, but I'm training you how to think. So without further ado, let's see, who do I have set up here? I can barely see these, but we will go, who is a walker?
That would be me, Ariana.
Ariana, okay. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, so they're a little bit light, but I think we can make this work. Let me adjust my screen here. Does everybody see what I'm sharing here?
Yeah.
A bit, yeah.
All right, so let's just do, how many do we have here, first of all?
Not enough.
Not enough. Let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We got 17 showing. Now, what happened towards the end of the 17? Were you just like, oh, that's enough, I'm tired? What was happening?
I was having a hard time generating ideas.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
I think what I was probably thinking is I would kind of start, and then as I was going through the idea in my head, it kind of fell apart. So I never finished with it.
You would pick it to death.
Yes.
Okay, let's stop picking them to death. Like, that's the whole idea. Just to get 50, it doesn't matter if they're crappy or good. The idea is to generate 50 different ideas. That's it. Doesn't matter if they're good or not. The quantity is what we're after. Because here's the deal. This is a process of refinement, right? The goal is just see if we can generate 50 ideas. That is a task on its own. When I first came to Nashville, I did a $50 show. And I draw on these $50 bills, and I just basically take a dollar bill, and I was doing this in New York. I would draw on them, and just to take the same thing and see how many different ideas I can come up with this, using the same dollar, using a dollar bill, the same thing over and over again. It's a challenge. It's very difficult. So let's look at what you got. What is this idea here?
It says, they fought for your voice. Don't let their work be wasted. Vote.
Okay, is this a quote that you came up with on your own?
Yes.
Did you pick it up from somewhere? Okay, so you're trying to say, this is the idea. What are you trying to say with this?
That people throughout history have fought for the right to vote, and
who?
It's kind of be like African Americans and women.
Okay.
And it's kind of be wasting their work if you don't vote.
So that means you're ungrateful if you don't vote?
Yeah, that's the idea of the poster.
So a lot of these things, what I do is I have a toast test. And so a toast test, imagine you're in a black tie gala and you ring a champagne flute, and then what happens?
Everybody's attention's on you.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, what do you need to do?
Wow them.
You got to say something. Give a toast.
Say something, right? Give it. So let's put this idea to the toast test, Ariana. Give us a toast on this one first idea. First of all, you got to ring the glass.
I was just going to say, you got to. I was trying to find something to ring my little cup. Something. Yeah, I see it.
There you go. All right, he did it for you. All right, give us a toast, Ariana. Come on.
Guess it would be my quote.
Say it. Perform the quote.
They fought for your voice. Don't let their work be wasted. Vote.
All right, guys. If you just heard that, what else do you need? Was that enough, or did you want more?
More.
Yeah, probably like context of like who they are, but I assume if the poster is finished, like that silhouette at the bottom would be like the silhouettes of who she's talking about.
Is that what those are for down there? Is that the silhouettes?
Yeah.
So we'd need some context, right? We'd have to show some pictures here to like really make that happen. Get that point
These
across.
thumbnails, all right. These just thumbnails don't have to have much detail.
Oh, you don't have to have detail, but that's the point of like evaluating concept. We put them to a vote, or we put it to the toast test, and then we see. Do you see how much information just came out of this? I didn't have to tell you, right? I just set the context of this is a toast. What are we going to need to see to make that happen, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're looking at all this stuff like a toast test, putting everything to the toast test. Now, let's talk about the next one. How about these guys? Do we see any contrast here? Do we see any points of interest?
Just like like if it's black and white, then like the black parts and the white parts are sort of like reversed.
Right. So you could see some contrast. What kind of contrast would that be?
Visual.
Visual. Do we see any intellectual contrast here?
No.
No.
Do you think that there's an opportunity to create intellectual contrast here?
No.
No.
Well, there is probably, but not without a lot of imagination. Yes.
A whole lot.
Right.
You could put like pictures instead of like the black parts or the white parts. Like have different pictures.
Good. Good.
We got to use what's here, though, right? If I had to use what was here, I couldn't personally.
Right. You'd have to add. You'd need to add to it. All right. Now, I just want you to pause for a minute. Do you see how this critique is just happening? Critique is all about creating work or making the work better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You guys, using this framework that we've already discussed, you guys are already talking intelligently about Ariana's work. Do you guys catch that?
Yep.
Does that make sense? It's a lot better than just sitting around in a room going, well, I like it that it's blue, right? We don't know why it's blue. Why is it blue? You see that? This is the formation of the class. This is why showing up to class is going to be so important, is because my job is just to facilitate. I can help you. Sure, I can tell you what to do. I don't want to. The way my classes work is you show up, you give good criticism on everybody else's work, and they give you good criticism. And as a class, you all grow because you grow by critiquing and you grow by receiving critique. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Good. Now that we're clear. All right. So let's just take a look. What's the most, just in what I'm showing you right here, what's the most interesting thing that you see?
The floating stars.
Can you identify the floating stars? Just tell me where they are.
Oh, bottom left.
Bottom left. Does everybody agree with her? Does anybody else see anything interesting?
Well, I like that this box here with something coming out of the top of the box or something going into the
Top
box.
left?
Yes.
We're talking top left?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's the one that caught my attention.
Anybody else see anything interesting?
The flag doesn't have stars. It got,
I'm a little
There
curious
we
what the words are.
So there we go. That's a point of interest. What kind of point of contrast is that?
It's like letters instead of shapes.
Well, what kind of, is it visual or intellectual?
Oh, visual.
Intellectual.
Yeah, yeah.
Intellectual, right? There's letters where stars would be. And all of a sudden we see that, and what's our first instinct? We want to look and see. That's where my eye went. Personally, that's the one that I think is kind of interesting. It's like, what does it say?
Right. Because it's supposed to be stars, but no, so these letters.
So now the risky part is we all want to know what it says. So Ariana, are you feeling the pressure that it has to say something good?
Vote.
Hey, you just muted yourself. What?
No, I said it says vote, like for
Oh.
Like multiple times.
yes, it's like just right after each other. It's just vote.
Okay. Class.
Vote, 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 vote.
Is that enough? Or do we want more?
I think if there was like a message in there, like maybe the message from earlier, like the one about rights would be fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could even put like in the stripes, like in the black stripes, you could put the silhouettes like in that one. I don't know.
Maybe.
That'd be hard. I mean, that'd be cool. I like that. That's cool.
Now I think there's also like, I like this, there's like this flag kind of jail bars thing happening with this one, especially when you put the word silent there.
Mm-hmm.
What's this one?
Kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's a flag with they fought for your voice, so they won. What it says.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to talk about a couple of more that someone pointed out this one earlier. What's the idea of this one?
That one is like it says your vote is 1,000's wish. It kind of does need more context, but
Ooh, let's pause right here. Let's do that toast test. Ding, ding, ding. Say it again.
your vote is 1,000's wish.
All right. What's going on with that, guys?
Like wishing upon a star that's intellectual.
Okay. So let's pause. I want to talk about that. You're reading into it. Just take inventory. Is there enough there?
I think so, yeah.
I think there's definitely like a lot of contrast. like with the blank spots and like the whole like the swoopy stars thingy.
Well, let's just back up. Let's just talk about what she just said. Tell us again, Ariana. What did you say? Ding, ding, ding. What is it?
Your vote is a thousand's wish.
Thousandth what? What? Who? What's the thousandth of who? What? It's
A thousand people's wish, I guess.
1,000.
But how's that
1,000.
metric decided?
Yeah, that's what it's
So yeah,
supposed
that's
to
where
be. But
I want you guys to really kind of start understanding how much you're reading into things when you're presented them, right? It's like, hey, I don't think that there's enough information. I don't know what a thousand's wish means, right?
yeah,
Saying that kind of stuff in critique isn't, we're not here to be mean. We're just here to call things out as we see them, and that's good feedback. I don't know what a thousand's wish means. I can't tell you how many times I've sat around in a classroom in critiques where people are just kind of blowing smoke at each other. It's like, oh, that's really cool. It's like, wait, I don't even know what it doesn't get it. Sometimes the most valuable thing in a critique you can say is, I don't understand. Well, the problem with that is no one wants to admit they don't understand because everybody feels like they have to be the smartest person in the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very helpful to say, I don't understand what this means. Okay, what's going on with this one?
that is the same idea, same quote. It just has a box, a card, and those would be stars, but I didn't want to draw stars.
This is a voting box or something?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, we saw one point of intellectual contrast. I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's maybe a 2, especially since it just says vote.
Yeah, thinking I was going to combine it with kind of that first,
This
the
is
first
like
one's
control,
message.
vote, freedom. We got horse. Okay. I'm going to reserve judgment till I see everybody else's. Let's see. I think I know what I'm going to. I think I'm already expecting something out of all of these. Okay. Let's see. Who is this? Grisette, you're up next. Looks like we got some check marks with some vote. What's this one?
That one, it's kind of a bit more written, where it's more text based for that one.
What does it
It
say?
should say, I kind of forgot how to read that one. Oh, where it says, your choice counts, vote 2020.
Your choice counts. Looks like counts is scratched out.
Yeah, I kind of messed up a little bit there, and I didn't have an eraser at the time.
Also, what I'm noticing is I have yet to see actually for a candidate. These are all just voting posters. Okay, it just says vote, vote, vote. We've got some repetition there.
The
Looks like
check mark is the V. That's cool.
Is it cool?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What's this one?
With that one, it was going to be more like a repeated version of like vote, but it was going to be stacked on top of the words with a bit of different coloring.
Okay. So we have potential. We have some potential for some visual contrast here. Does anybody see a potential for any intellectual contrast here?
No, it's all pretty straightforward. There's nothing that makes you go, "Wait, what's that?"
What's this? Just I voted?
It's kind of similar to those I voted buttons, but it's more like I wanted to add a bit more within it. So it's like you couldn't really tell because it's very small, but I wanted to add more text within where it would be like where the sticker would be.
Okay, and you got to 16 too. Did you do any more than this?
No, those are the ones I mostly managed to get.
What was happening? What was happening mentally?
I I think with that one, it was more of, I think idea based, where it was more of, I really mostly wanted to get ones where it's like I could get like the point across more focused on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, this one looks big. 102 megabytes. We'll come back. Remind me to come back to yours, Jeff.
Maybe.
Okay, Lauren. Lauren. Oh my God, I don't have Acrobat Reader. Are you kidding me? This is weird. I totally have Acrobat on here. Can't open that one. Let's go back. Okay.
Oh.
All right. How many you got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These look political.
Oh yeah.
Is this Hitler stashes? What's with the Hitler stashes?
Oh, that was my mom's idea.
I love it.
Anybody seen Jojo Rabbit?
Yes.
Movie. Give me a high, old man. I love that guy Tiki, what Tiki or whatever his name is. He's awesome. He's my favorite director right now. Okay, so these are pro-Trump posters.
No.
Racist, sexist, rapist. Okay, we got suddenly we've got like a Hitler stash. We already had a. You got to pay attention to that. It's like, ooh, are those Hitler stashes? Whenever you get something like that, you know you've got something interesting, right? Although it's so we're equating him to Hitler. Racist, sexist, why is racist on there twice? Racist, sexist, rapist. Got it. Ooh, there's kind of an interesting play there. For some reason, I don't think I'm seeing this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why I did that. Well, the top ones aren't very exciting anyways.
Don't say that. You don't know. You don't know me. I might like them. Open with, well, why can't I just want to just download this. Ideally, next week, you'll be able to share your own screen. I don't want to do this. Let's open it in preview, please. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry for the really bad lighting.
Looks like you're in the sun or something.
No,
Okay,
just an overhead light. But...
Now we can see the whole thing. Vote Trump for bad things.
Well, I was gonna write stuff down there. That was just sort of like a placeholder.
Okay. Only you can vote Trump out of office. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Vote Trump out of office. Right?
Yeah.
Only you can. What does that one say? What's this one?
Oh, it's the same thing, but I just rearranged the text a little bit.
Only you can vote Trump. And what is this? Is this Uncle Sam?
Yes. Because he's public domain, right?
Probably. Uncle Sam?
Okay.
Yeah, I've used him on a poster. I have a little poster thing that I put out on
Yeah.
April 15th of Uncle Sam where he's pointing and says, "Give me your money, bitch." Vote Trump if you want.
Hey.
Okay, so I think we're trying to spell out a lot of stuff. I would like to see you kind of hone in some of these ideas, like racist, sexist, rapist as your president. I think there's an interesting thing. Like, I thought racist and rapist were the same word at first. I think there's kind of a play that you can do, and you can kind of combine those graphically.
Later on, I have some of those.
Keep Trump in office. What does it say?
How many more wives will he cheat on? That's also one of Bob's ideas.
We've heard this story before. Oh, because of
Zegile.
That's actually kind of interesting. Because he is kind of a fascist, I mean, no offense, but you could point some correlations between fascism and kind of the way he behaves right now, if you so to elect. I'm getting deja vu. Are you okay? I'm getting deja vu. Are you? Okay, yeah, I see you're playing around with it. Was this put educated people in the White House vote Biden Harris? Do you guys see that street artist in LA? I think he says, "Stop making stupid people famous." You ever see that? He's an ist. What is this one?
Oh, I did a little bit of research, because I wanted to he like insults a lot of people on Twitter, so it's like a whole bunch of different insults he's used. Disgraced, fake, low IQ, failed, dope, disaster, lightweight, dummy. There's a whole bunch of things. And I was gonna do another thing with that as the background if I wasn't sure what to put in front of it.
So, just out of, I think when I told you specifically, like, what is like, I won't get into a whole thing, but like, what is one specific thing where you feel like Trump has dropped the ball as a president?
I mean, definitely a lot with the pandemic, I guess.
Okay,
like
what about
opening
it?
things up, really.
What about it?
I guess like the whole like not like reinforcing masks as well, or like putting us out of quarantine earlier than needed.
Okay. Okay. So notice what I find interesting is everybody so far has only been able to do like 15, 16, and it's been across the board. Crazy. Okay. Matthew, you're up.
All right.
Holy.
Okay, so we got some dropping. Are they, I guess they're falling vote cards that say vote?
Yes.
And then we have a bunch of cards that are all tiled that say vote. Then we got a pile of cards that say vote. What's going on with this one?
That one would be join the club and vote.
Join the club and vote. Okay, so we've got some bandwagon stuff. Don't leave
America in pieces.
in pieces. Okay, that's another one. And don't leave America in pieces. Vote while
There's still
time. He just says vote, and then time to vote. America don't. What does this build? America build. What does it say?
Build America back up with your vote.
What is this one? Time to vote more? Is this a more time one?
Time to make a difference for America. Vote.
Okay. Wondering how you're looking. See, you got 12 there. Ooh, got a good showing. How far did you make it? Did you make it to 50?
I made it to 51.
Whoa, dude. Good job. Okay, we got some crossword puzzles starting here. Do you notice, like, look, watch this. Do you see how we start? Look, I wanted to show you his thumbnails. Like, look, start, kind of what we're expecting, and then all of a sudden, second page, we start seeing some new kind of directions, don't we? And then we get to page 3, and we got a whole nother set. Right? This is how it works.
I like that crossword puzzle on the last page. Or
you like the crossword puzzle?
Scrabble looking one. Crossword puzzle.
Yeah, this
I'm
one?
just curious what it says. Yeah.
What does it say?
There's one line that says America, another that says vote, another that says time, as in time to vote, another that says election, and the last one says day, as in election day.
Okay, cool.
I was just imagining it said vote like you have a pair. Vote like you got a pair, you know. That's how Johnny has been influenced. Johnny from Cobra Kai has been influencing me. Okay, so we got some this. We got We got some more crosswords. This is more like a crossword puzzle again.
No, that's supposed to be another version of Rebuilding America.
Rebuilding America. Okay. Rebuilding America. Your voice. Your voice. Okay, cool. So we got, that's kind of interesting just in this layout here. Did everybody see this? It's like got a voice balloon and there's some interesting things starting to happen. Okay, good job, man.
Who will you elect?
Who will you elect? Okay. All right. So still, like, do we see anything that stands out, guys?
I can barely see anything, honestly, Chris.
What does this say up here?
Futures?
What's it made out of?
I don't know.
Voting cards.
Voting cards. Okay.
Oh.
Your votes will build our future. That's what it says.
A vote can change America's future. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Good job. Good job getting 50. Thank you for doing the work. All right, let's see.
Oh no, it's upside down.
This is when you say, oh, it looked fine on my screen.
Yeah.
So it's upside down.
I might be able, I'll flip it and I'll resubmit it.
What would Joe do? How many did you get? Is this all of it?
Maybe
Well, you
like
sent me
30.
more. You sent me more, right?
Yeah.
What's this one? This looks like one of those. Is it a horn or something?
Oh yeah. So it's like using your kind of using your voice to vote kind of thing, but the voting cards are coming out of the megaphone, and then there's a I voted sticker.
Looks like a cornucopia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be an interesting idea. Okay, let's go to the next one.
I swear, if they're all upside down.
This
Oh
one's
my God.
sideways.
Nothing went right at 6 o'clock.
Choke America, vote dim. Does it say Choke America?
Yeah.
Okay. What's this? Is this a hairpiece?
Oh yeah, that's Trump's hair in the shape of a gun.
I was gonna say, it looks like a gun.
Wait, is this pro or anti?
Pro.
Pro Trump?
Mm-hmm.
It could be
Some
interesting.
of them might not be clear. I was worried about that.
I think you're kind of like this gun hair thing, like what's the connection? Just because he's pro-gun and
Yeah, like Second Amendment.
Second Amendment. Okay. I think you might have two different ideas there.
Okay.
I could just see the hair, you know, as on one for like 2020.
That one, yeah.
You know, or you could try and do the hair. I think hair and gun doesn't really mix, but I give you props for what's
Okay.
this one? What's this one?
That is also a megaphone. The megaphone, I was gonna try to shape it into a TE, and then there's hands with ballot cards at the top, and on the bottom is 2020.
What was this one?
Oh, I'm really bad artist, like really bad.
I like the drawing. That's why
Donkey
I'm
equals-
asking you about it.
Yeah, donkey equals sheep, like sheep of the country.
I thought that was a dog.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I mean, there's an idea there. Like we'd have to really, you know.
Yeah.
I think you would have to put it in context, but you know, changing the donkey to a sheep would be kind of interesting as far as the design goes. Don't break, it's fragile now. Okay.
Don't break it, it's fragile now. It kind of got cut off.
Let's see, I got one more.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Let's see. Vote small government, vote 2020. Oh, it's kind of nice. That's a very interesting look. There's intellectual contrast there, right? Everybody see that? We've got, it's kind of interesting. I can't mark these, so when I tell you something's interesting, I think
Yeah.
you should just
There
note
should be
it.
one more.
All I got's 3. That's all I got.
Oh no, my other one didn't upload. Okay, I'll upload it later.
Okay. Let's see.
Because there was ones that I
Zach
really
Williams.
liked on there I wanted your feedback on.
Please 2020, just vote. Go vote 2020. Okay. Red or blue, you still need to vote. Okay. What is this? Is this like a basketball court thing or what's going on with this, Zach?
You know, I just thought it looked kind of bland, so I just added lines pretty much.
Okay.
Looks like a stage.
Remember, vote responsibly. What's going on with his head?
Well, he's like wearing a mask and stuff because, you know, with all the.
Oh, okay. There's an interesting thing with mask and silent. Okay. Who looked at all the reference I put up online about, hey, this is where you can look for good posters?
Yeah,
I looked
Looked
at
at a few
those.
of them.
I
Did anybody
looked.
see any Luba's? Did anybody look at Luba's work?
I think
I
I looked at all of them, but
Top of
Luba,
my head.
Cola. What's going on with this one, Zach?
You know, like vote is like it's like what is it? Like blasting through the wall, pretty much. Like stones are going everywhere.
Okay. Vote for who you want. And it's the guy with the question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, vote responsibly. What's going on with his eye?
He's like a, you know, like a ding kind of thing. You know, like
Oh, he's winking.
yeah.
Free toilet paper.
What?
for voting? Free toilet paper. Okay. See who else has it in here. Sorry, I'm trying to go through these but I think I know what I'm gonna do here. I think we're gonna need some exercises in freeing ourselves up where we're thinking. What's this going on? Who did this one?
Superman?
Well, it looks like a Superman. Whose thumbnails are these? I forgot to look. They're Linda or Lisa? Which one?
That may be mine. My internet is gone with the storm, so I can't see what you're seeing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's disconnecting about every 3 minutes.
I'm looking like a Superman drawing.
Yeah, I did have a Superman where he's
Okay.
like, you can just see the S under his suit.
Yeah, yep. Nice drawings. Looks like we got Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. I like that one. And
That was cool.
the puzzle.
Uh-huh. Okay, issues. These silhouette things that say stuff are kind of interesting. Biden, Harrison, a heart. That's kind of interesting. I could tell you're kind of like a artist, right? I can tell.
No, I have to be very careful. I have to be looking at something to be able to draw it. I can't just draw.
Can I download Jeff's? Where's my downloads? There's 107 megabytes. Is this class really supposed to go to 950?
Yeah,
Apparently.
that's what it's scheduled for.
God, that'd be a long time. Okay, so you didn't do thumbs. You actually started.
It started for thumbs, but the ones that I couldn't do in thumbnails, since I was on my iPad anyways, I just used what brushes I had in my Procreate.
I like that first one.
Yeah, the lines on it are cool. Is that a filter you ran that through or what? How'd you make that? How'd you do that?
You can convert a grayscale into a bitmap and then do it so it's line art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice effect.
Ooh, that one's cool.
Let's see if I can make this bigger. Can you guys still see this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that one.
Okay, what's going on with this one? Looks like a refrigerator magnet.
Exactly. Refrigerator magnets.
Okay.
Vote for duct tape over the.
Vote for STHU?
Vote or shut the hell up.
Okay. Oh, look, be classy and vote. That's kind of interesting. That's an interesting one.
Language.
Well, I like that one.
This one?
That one's
Yeah,
cool. I like
it's
the
like
shadow one also.
snowy, like wintry.
You sketch those
Might not
on
be
your
what you're
iPad?
going for, but that's what I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. That's at the end. So are there any drawing ones or is this it?
That's it.
Okay. Okay, how do I get out of here? Nice effort. Did anybody post in the hey something went wrong channel? Nope, nobody posted anything in there.
Do you want me to, since you can't, I don't know how else to give it to you as a PDF through
What is
Adobe
it? What is it?
What do you mean?
What kind of file is it? Why is it giving me this thing? Because
PDF?
everybody else's are PDFs though. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
no bueno. Don't understand what's happening with this. Let me download it and see. Scanning for viruses. Okay, so this is what I see. I see a lot of very surface level thoughts. So I think, and that's a gross generalization. I'm not pinpointing anybody in particular. Some of you put in more effort than others. I see that. But also, like, I really kind of want, on this one at least, to make sure that we kind of give this, we have kind of some time on this. So I want to make sure that we give this the conceptual energy and brainstorming energy that I think that it deserves. So what I want you to do is, for those of you who got 50, which I think is only Matthew, like Jeff, I would happily look at you. Scan me in your sketches if you did those. I'll happily add them to the pile. But I think for the most part, not a lot of you did 50. And really what I wanted, the process here is key. This is what I want us to really focus on process. And so to bring that home, I think I'm not going to assign you 50. I think we're going to do 30 for next week. And I don't want them in the computer. Stay out of the computer. Do not do them on the computer. Now, Jeff, if you want to use your Procreate, I want to limit you to the sketch function only. And I want you guys, like, the process is very important to me. I want you to get this. So I'm going to make a little note so I can send it. But I think it would be helpful is if we broke these down. Let's just say, let's do 30. And we're having problems coming up with ideas. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to break those into bite-sized chunks. And so for We might do a little more than 30 because I think if we break it down into chunks, you'd be surprised. So actually, I'm sorry, I lied. We're going to do 50 again. But this time, because we need some runway. Now, let me just think this through real quick. I want you to do 10 where your sole focus is on visual contrast. And then I want you to do 10 where our focus is on intellectual contrast. Then I want you to do 10 where you make something in the room your solution. Say, for instance, I'm working on a vote poster and I'm limited to the things that are in the room. So what I can see here is I see an axe. So I'm going to make an axe the solution. I see a birch tree limb. I'll make that one a solution. Then I'm going to use this aloe plant. I'm going to make that a solution. I've got a fake skunk. I'll make the skunk the solution. Think in the same room, you have to make the solution.
What do you mean, like, solution? What solution to what?
Okay, like the visual.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And then I want you to do 10 that say the exact opposite of the thing that you're trying to say. We can do that, or make fun of the thing that you're trying to say, the opposite. So make fun or do the opposite. And then 10 I want that are complete and utter nonsense.
Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous.
And hey, Chris, I posted into Slack in case you couldn't get my Adobe to work.
We'll have to figure this out. I don't know what's up. Let me see. I don't know what's going on. I guess I can stop share. Okay, so does that make sense? I want 10 that focuses on visual contrast. I want 10 that focuses on intellectual contrast. I want 10 where you make something in the room your solution or the visual. I want 10 that does the exact opposite of what you're trying to say. And then I want 10 that are utter nonsense. Does that make sense?
And that's and these are only thumbnails, right?
Just thumbnails.
All right.
Does that sounds really doable, because there's one more I'd like to add. I'd like to do 10 where you just flip open the dictionary. Does everybody have a dictionary?
No.
Do an online dictionary.
Not a book. Dictionary.
I have one.
I don't have a paper dictionary.
Well, one would be cool is if you opened up some kind of book and you just pointed to a random word without looking, and then you make that word. You somehow have to concoct that word into making it the solution. What's the point of this exercise?
What was that?
Meet concepts.
To come up with more ideas, to get you to think
Basically,
in different ways.
Just showing you how to think in different ways. That's it. Because right now what I see is we're kind of like we have basically an initial idea, and we're not deviating very much from the initial idea. Does that make sense? And to do a full exploration for this, I think it's going to help to kind of randomize the process. I'm teaching you guys now how to generate different ideas. How do you think, like, I have a strategy here. What do you think this strategy is?
Expand our creativity.
Well, by how? What's the strategy?
By getting us out of our
comfort
internal
zone.
comfort zones and making us just
Stretching our limits.
And also, I'm getting it down to bite-sized chunks.
You're actually limiting us to a single thing, but you make us think differently about that one thing. So you kind of putting more restrictions on us instead of letting us just have free range to just really lose thought because we're thinking so much and all over the place. Now we can kind of narrow it down and focus on more of the creative side of what you're trying to push out.
I'm organizing your effort into smaller, more focused ways of doing it.
Can you expand a little on the nonsense one? Are you talking like just abstract weird stuff or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nonsense. Doesn't have to mean anything. Could
Like
be a
stuff
but.
that doesn't make sense.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Who's laughing?
Are
So
you
yeah, it could be like, you'd be surprised how many but nonsense, I still wanted to say like vote Trump or vote Biden or whatever the point is. The point has to be visible, but it just doesn't need to make sense. You know, you could like throw something visual that is completely out of left field. You'd be surprised how many good connections get made that way. And for those of you who struggle to do 16, I'm kind of wondering, I'm anxious to hear your report because I've assigned 60. And I think if you break it down this way, it's going to be way easier to do.
Did you assign 60?
I did.
What's the first? Can we go through them?
Yep. And I'll also post them on the home page but it's 10 that focus solely on visual contrast. 10 that focus on intellectual contrast. 10 where you make something in the room your solution. Things that you can see without moving. 10 where you're actually just saying the opposite of what you're trying to say. You're essentially making fun of your own poster, what you're trying to communicate. 10 that's completely meaningless. It has to have your message on there, but the visuals and stuff should be completely random. And then 10 where you just open up a book and you randomly flip open a page and point, and whatever word that becomes your solution.
Okay, yeah, just a random word.
And also what it's going to help is to really solidify what you're trying to say down into a statement. You know, think about that toast. It was like, hey, if you're anti-Trump, then really think about, I think, okay, so then what I want you to do also is I want you to write 20 statements, just 20 sentences that where you're just trying to concisely say, and within that, and that's what I want you to do first, because we really need to hone in that stuff. So I want 20 statements, and I want you to break these down by 5s. I want you to do, what was I thinking? You hear that? Somebody's out there. Okay, but no, I just 10, not 20, 10. And I want you to, what I want you to,
Apparently that car objects.
man, I'm about to go yell at them. Try to have class, you idiots. All right. We're just going to do 10 statements here because I want to keep this doable. So 5, I want you to I just want you to state things that really piss you off about this issue. Like, you should vote because blah, blah, blah. Right? And then 5, I want you to have positive things. And before you start generating thumbnails, I want you to do that. 5 negatives, 5 positives. Like, what makes me angry, what grinds my gears, and make them as specific as possible. So I want 5 and 5. That'll get your mind going, and then execute these 60 thumbnails in that way. And then also, I think what would be helpful is if you continue to look at graphic design, and I want you to only do, last week we had 20 examples. This week, I just want you to seek out 10 good examples of good intellectual contrast. That's what I want you looking for. Sounds like a lot, but I promise you, if you did it my push-up method, to where you just did like, you have 7 days. So if you said tomorrow I'm going to do my 5 statements, then what's tomorrow, Thursday? Then Friday I'm going to do 10 that focus on visual contrast, and then Saturday you did 10 that focus on intellectual contrast, and so on and so on and so forth. You will have plenty of time to do all this stuff, and it won't take a lot of time out of your day. And what it will do is it will get you to where you're thinking, and then you can stop and stew for a little while, and then you come back the next day and you think, and I promise you, if you do it that way, you will be able, it will be effortless. And you'll come up with stuff that you wouldn't if you just sat down and tried to do 60 all on your, in an hour. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, let's take care of business. Next week, we will be in class. So actually, you can bring all, actually, I still want you to upload them to Drive, but bring your sketchbooks to class. What else are we going to need next week? What's our demonstration? We're going to do, was it boxes or tiling next week? I think it was tiling.
Yeah, but the boxes was the second.
And then we have a book. So we have, next week is tiling, so I need you to bring, how long of a ruler do you guys have?
Don't have.
12 inches.
12.
That's it? That's the longest that you guys have?
I mean, there's the tape measure from the garage.
No, we need a metal ruler because we're going to be tiling.
Okay.
So,
What room are we in?
How long do we need, really?
Ask me.
They don't have that room with that bucket of rulers anymore? That was in that,
I think so. I'll write Beth and see if she has a T-square we can borrow, a couple of them.
they had like a whole like trash can full of those metal rulers in one of those classes.
So you at least need an X-Acto. And who knows how to print at school? Because I don't.
I do.
Cool. All right. So we need that. Plus, I want to go over a few other things while I'm sitting here. Where's my news items? How do you get to all the news items?
Go to the bottom of your list on the homepage.
Yes, it doesn't.
It's like one little sentence.
Oh, show all news items. I see. Thanks. Because, okay, so on the homepage of the news items, it says we have, our class is C114. I don't know which one that is. Is that the same
114? That's the one that we were in
Okay.
2 semesters ago. So that should have, unless David's moved it all out, his stash of stuff inside the cabinets.
Yeah, I'll ask Beth if she can have, if there's some rulers that we can have. And then, so I'm going to bring just an image that we're going to print large, and then I'm going to show you how to tile next week. And then we'll go over in class, we'll go over these 60 thumbnails and your statements, and then look at, post your examples. What did I say? I said 10 good examples of intellectual contrast. Bring those so that we can look at them on a computer of some kind. I mean, you don't have to bring your computer. Just put them on Drive so I can get to them and look. And what else did I want to go over? Is everybody clear on that?
Yeah.
Great.
Got a note of it.
Okay. Also, I posted important information on the print process. Did you guys read? Did you guys watch those videos?
No. No.
I
Yeah, I
think
did.
so.
They
Did
were
one of
super helpful.
them have screaming people?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
That-
I watched
Yeah.
that.
I was like, what is happening?
That is
Yeah.
aesthetic apparatus. They were a pretty prolific like poster gig or gig poster studio in Minneapolis, but they basically do a how-to screen print and they just scream the whole time. It's just funny, but it shows you the process. There is some good resources there. I want you to watch those videos that I put up there because I'm just going to say this. In 2 weeks, I'm going to give you a quiz. So I want you to watch those videos, and I'm going to ask you specific things that are on those videos. So I want you, especially the one, not the screaming one, but the one that I said, this one is great.
Oh, with the kind of nerdy girl, but
The
she's
nerdy
super
girl,
smart.
the
Yeah.
nerdy girl says it all in that video. So I want you to
Okay.
watch it.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
This is the printing process videos, right?
And then the other two will show you there's just a good primer on how like offset printing works. So when I say it needs to separate in CMYK, it'll actually show you why. So those things are very informative. They're presented in a way much better than I would do it. So that's why I put them up there. I think they're good videos. I think you should watch them. So in 2 weeks, we will be putting together a quiz. We'll be taking one. Because we have to start knowing this stuff inside and out. But for now, I want to really hit this concepting home. And then also there's a book that you can look for on PDF. It should be not very expensive to purchase. If you wanted to purchase it, it's called It's Not How Good You Are, It's How Good You Want to Be by Paul Arden. All right, so we clear on everything? So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get out of class.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out. I'm going to reach out after class.
Gotcha.
This week.
All right, so
I got a question about contacting you. Do we see you? Can I just hit you up like direct message on this on Slacker? Is that where you?
Yeah, Slack. Although I have to tell you that I limit my time on Slack because, like I said, teaching can get a little out of control. So typically, I just limit. I limit a lot of interaction unless there's like an emergency to class time. But if you have a specific question or whatever, you can reach out and I'll try and get back to you. But like I said, I don't keep regular Slack hours on this thing, but happy to field any questions. But Slack is also there for you guys to communicate with each other and start looking at this stuff as a collaborative effort. If you have work, you want feedback on stuff, post it to a Slack channel and ask your other classmates to give feedback or answer questions or whatever. And especially for those of you who are having Drive, make sure that you guys can get and upload things to Drive because that's how I'm going to be grading. This is going to be very important. Actually, what's funny is, Lauren, I can totally see your stuff in Slack. It's way easy. I don't know what's going on with the Drive. But to turn things in, I'm going to be grading you on how well it's named, if it's on time, uploaded to Drive, all of that stuff, because I'm trying to prepare you for professionalism. So that's kind of where we're going. But without, I guess that's all I can think of. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, next week we're going to be in class, C114, 6 o'clock. Bring X-Acto, rulers, be ready to tile, and have all your stuff.
What all we need? Just an X-Acto and a ruler. What else? What's all our stuff? I'm sorry.
If you have a
Oh,
big
is it?
if you have a big cutting mat, that would be helpful.
Okay, I see it. All right, my bad. Okay, I see the note too. It's on our news.
Yeah, I think I put it in there. Yeah, and just pay attention to the new stuff as I think about it and as I can do it. I will be communicating, but now that I've got everybody on Slack, most of the communication will be through Slack now. I'll just document things like assignments and things that you need for home on the home page, just so that Beth knows I'm keeping up with stuff. All right. Good night, everybody. I'll see you next week.
All right, good night, Chris.
See ya.